What's up YouTube, this is Jake from JP Trading Cards here, and today I'm bringing you guys my Rokket deck profile. So this is a deck profile post Extreme Force, and this is Revolver's deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Brains. So Revolver is the main antagonist in the series, and he uses a bunch of Rokket dragon looking monsters that are pretty cool looking, and they got some pretty neat effects. So this is a pure Rokket build, and what I mean by that is basically all of the cards are Rokket monsters, and in the extra deck is where this kind of affects the extra deck most, is that I will be creating a section that is strictly for Rokket, like strictly Rokket support cards, and then another part where if you want to use extra or different Xyz or synchro monsters in the deck, you can. Those are all personal preference, but I'm just going to be giving you guys basically the baseline or the foundation for a Rokket deck. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, to start off the Rockets, we're running 3 of each Rokket monster, and they each have a unique effect. So first, run 3 Magna Rockets. So Magna Rockets effect is when a Link monster's effect targets this card, you can destroy this card, then send 1 monster on the field to the graveyard. And a unique thing about all of the Rockets is their secondary effect. So during the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Rokket monster from your deck except Magna Rokket. So that's the same for each of the Rokket monsters, so I just wanted to point that out before I go into the others and don't say it. Next, 3 Auto Rokket. So same thing, when a Link monster's effect is activated that targets this card, destroy this card and send 1 spell or trap on the field to the graveyard. Next, we're running 3 of a Nest Rokket. So his effect is that, same thing, when a Link monster's effect targets this face-up card in the field, destroys card, and make 1 monster on the field unable to attack. So those are the 3 that were introduced in Circuit Break. And now let's go to the ones that were introduced in Extreme Force. So, Metal Rokket. So when Link Monster's effect is activated, you can target that targets this card, destroy this card, and destroy all your opponent's cards in the column that this card points to. So this is one that uses the column system. And finally, for the last Rokket monster, 3 Shell Rokket Dragon. So when this card, when a Link monster's effect is activated, it targets this face-up card in the field. You can destroy this card and destroy 1 monster in the column this card was in, and if you do, destroy any monster in this card's adjacent ones. So that's the only negative thing about him is, Shell Rokket, is it destroys the adjacent ones. So yeah, that's the only negative about that one. But other than that, that's all of the Rokket. And then cards that are basically support Rokket cards, but they're like Rokket cards, but not considered Rockets. Gateway, triple Gateway. So if your opponent controls a Link monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. And then this second effect is great. So once per turn, you can special summon a level 4 lower dark monster from your hand. All the monsters are dark monsters, and just that effect it's an easy twin triangle dragon. Next, 3 Sniffer. So if this card is normal or special summon, add 1 from your deck to your hand. Next, yawning. A card that is definitely played a lot with the Rockets are Destrudo, the Lost Dragon's Vision. So if this card is in your hand or graveyard, pay half your life points, then target 1 level 6 or lower monster you control, special summon this card, and if you do, this card's level is reduced by the level of the targeted monster. Also place this card on the bottom of your deck if it leaves the field. So pretty good effect. A lot of people use this to go into this, then synchro summon Fairy Dragon, and then because Fairy Dragon's effect, you can special summon level 4 or lower from your hand, and everything else is. And then the last one is Link Belt Wall Dragon. So Link Belt's effect is, so basically it's can be special summoned when you Link summon, so that's pretty cool. So it's a free special summon once after you Link summon, obviously, if it's in your hand. So you special summon it for your hand. If you do, place 2 counters on it. So if a monster is Link summoned, remove 2 of these counters from his card for all if less than 2. Once per turn during each standby phase, place 1 of these counters on this card. And then no monster can be Link summoned when this card has at least as many of these counters as the Link zones it needs. So basically it's kind of like, it's obviously it's a Link wall. Basically it's in its name. It's a Link wall for Link summoning. That way, you can force people to have to Link summon like Link 3s and Link 4s, and you can't get out their Link 2s. So pretty good card. That's it for all the monster cards. So now let's get on to the spells. Alright, for the spells, you're going to run triple quick launch, so special summon 1 rocket monster from your deck. Awesome. Triple squib draw, target 1 rocket monster you control, destroy it. And if you do, draw 2 cards. So those 6 you need to run in this deck. The only issue with this deck is those 6 are all secret rares. So if you're trying to get them by pulling packs, it's going to be kind of difficult. That's my only issue. Next, the new field spell released in Extreme Force. All rocket monsters you gain on your field gain 300 attack and defense, and you can special summon up to 2 rocket monsters with different names from your hand. Or if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, special summon rocket monsters with different names from your graveyard to equal out the difference. So that's a great effect too. Next, triple Inferno Reckless Summon. So when a monster with 1500 attack or lower is special summon, you can special summon as many copies of that card as you have. So basically 2 more from your deck. That card's awesome because you can instantly go into a Link 3 after that, or a Link 4 with a normal summon, another normal summon, or a special summon again. So awesome. Next, triple Allure. Since all these are darks, extra draw power. 1 soul charge, because a lot of these cards you can send to the graveyard and then special summon them back into Link plays. So yeah, that's awesome. And using soul charge with the rocket monsters forward board load to charge up his cannons. Awesome. Next, and the last spell you're going to run is Foolish Burial. Basically, you're going to use this card on Destrudo, the Lost Dragon's Frisian, to put him in the grave. It's easy special summon for him after that. So that's it with the spells. And now let's go on to the traps. So I only run 3 traps. I run 1 Boral Cooling, 1 Evenly Matched, pretty self-explanatory, evenly matched, and 1 Back to the Front, also self-explanatory. But Boral Cooling is basically so you tribute 1 Rocket Monster, then target 1 Boral Link monster you control, so Boral Dragon, equipped with this card. If this card is equipped to a monster by this effect, then it gains this additional effect. So you target 1 monster you control, and it cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. So it's pretty good. Kind of specific. You can only use it on Boral Dragon, but I'm expecting Boral support to come out in the future, specifically some more Link monsters. So hopefully the card will be better, but it's kind of specific, but that's why I only run 1 of it. So that's it for the traps and all of the main deck. So now let's get on to the extra deck. Alright guys, now finally for the extra deck, and like I mentioned earlier, this is a pure Rocket build, but I want to give you guys some other cards that you can put in the extra deck that will make this deck even better. So let's get started. First, for your rank 4s, Dark Rebellion, Xyz Dragon, and Utopia. Both pretty good. Rank 4s. There's a ton of rank 4s in the deck, so it fits perfectly. So those two you can use for your Xyz, and like I mentioned earlier, Ancient Fairy Dragon with the Destrudo play, and then using Ancient Fairies Dragons to summon a Rokket monster from your hand. So those are 3 cards that you can add to the deck that will make the deck a little bit better. Or, if you don't want to only use link monsters and take advantage of link markers too, you can use these. And then I also run Proxy, Decode, and of course Firewall, pretty much staples in any deck. Any link format deck, you basically have to run those. It's just common knowledge. But so now let's get into the specific Rokket build link monsters. So I run 3 of the Link 2 Twin Triangle, 2 level 4 lower dragon monsters. So when this card's link summon, pay 500, target 1 level 5 or higher monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So you can either use that on Ancient Fairy Dragon or Destrudo, bring him back. So, or just link summon him and use another one to get out a link 3 or something, So 3 of him, 1 triple burst, so 2 monsters but no tokens. So this was also released in Extreme Force. This is the new Rokket card, new Link Rokket card, excuse me. So during the damage step, you can negate the activation of a spell, trap, or monster effect. So basically, negate the activation of a card effect in general, which is awesome. And then, so if this attacks a defense position monster, inflict damage. And then, so during your main phase, except the one that this card was summoned. So basically, like your second main phase 2, or just your second main phase 1, you contribute this card and then link summon a link 2, so Proxy, Twin Triangle, and then special summon 1 level 4 or lower dragon monster from your hand. So you can basically go into triple burst, main phase 2, tribute, Twin Triangle, special summon another, special summon Decode. Pretty awesome. Or triple burst, Twin Triangle, Destrudo, Decode. It's an easy way to get out 2 link summons too. So that's awesome. And then finally, the boss of the deck, Borreload. This card is an absolute beast, and it just fits so perfect with the Rokket deck, where you can use Borreload's first effect to lower target 1 monster's attack and defense by 500. So use that on your own Rokket monster. Use the Rokket monster's effect to disrupt something on their opponent's field, and then destroy it. And then he ends up another Rokket special summons at the end of the turn. So using that, and you basically just reload Borreload's cannons. That's literally what it does. So it's just awesome. And then your opponent cannot activate effects to stop. In contrast to that effect, so they have to let the effect go. And then, so at the start of the damage step, if this card attacks your opponent's monster, you can place that opponent's monster in a zone this card points to and take control of it. So use that for, you can use that for another link if you want, or use that for another link summon, was what I was trying to say. And then, but it goes to the graveyard at the end. So, I think this is a very fun deck. I personally like the Rokket deck, and I like Revolver as a character in the show. And that's kind of why I built it, just for fun. But I mean, I've played in locals with this deck, and I've won a couple games. I've done pretty well, so I'm a huge fan of it. I think in the next coming sets, it can only get better. I think it needs some more link monsters, but that's about it, guys. Again, please please comment, and if you like Borreload Dragon, please subscribe. Jake is out.